I needed to build a couple gates for a barn I recently built. I want them to be strong, want them to look good, I want them to last a long time, and most of all, I didn't want them to sag. It's almost been a year now. These gates are strong as ever. You can use this technique for any gate that you need to build, and I'm going to show you how I did it.
This gate is built from 5/4 deck boards, some high tinsel fence wire that I had left over from the fencing project I did. This gate is 49 inches high and 9 feet wide. First thing we're going to do is measure the rough opening for the gate, and we've got 9 foot 1 inch on the top and 9 foot 1 1/8 on the bottom. So I'm going to make that 9 foot 1/4 inch, 108 inches for the width of the gate. Room to play to level it and center it. I told you these are all used deck boards, and so I'm going to take out the bad part. I'm going to measure 108.25 inches. Put a mark there. Speed square, mark it. We're ready to cut. Cut another one for the bottom, and then we just need the 2 vertical pieces. Okay, we're all set to move on to the next step. And what I'm going to do is make these interlock. The vertical pieces interlock with the horizontal pieces, so they lock in tight. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the vertical pieces, say this is the vertical piece, and the horizontal pieces, and I'm going to shave them down. These are 1 inch, 5/4 deck boards are 1 inch thick. I'm going to take a 1/2 inch off each one, and they'll interlock just like that. I'll glue them, screw them together, and they can't go anywhere. That'll help prevent the gate from sagging along with the crossbucks. If you have a table saw with a dado blade, you're going to be way ahead of what I have to do. But I'm going to use my miter saw here. They've got a setting right here. I can flip this forward and set this pin, and it'll only go down so far. And I set that for a 1/2 inch, and then make a bunch of cuts, and you'll see how I make it now. If you had to, and all you had was a skill saw, circular saw, you could also do it with that. First thing I'm going to do is mark the end so I know how much to take off. Just get it flush at the end here, score a line, and I'll cut from there. Take that off. It'll look just like that when I'm done. Okay, I cut a bunch of grooves in there, as you can see. Then you just we're pretty close to where we need to be. I'll just clean it up with the saw here. That's one done. Do each end of each board, and then we're ready to move to the next step. Then it's just a matter of putting the 4 pieces together. Next thing I did is just lay it out on a table. You could do it on your driveway, on a flat level surface. And you want to measure diagonally as you see the tape measure. The measurement from that corner to that corner should be the same as the other diagonal measure, and then you know you have your gate square. Once you have that squared up, you can lay your diagonal boards on. Start with the first one, and I just take a pencil and scribe along the board to make that cut. Do the same thing on the other end. So you're aware as we're building this, I want you to notice how the cross bracing align the bottom edge up with the top corner, and I line the top edge up with the bottom corner. Same thing on that side. Just wanted to point that out so you know how that ran. And we got our first crossboard done, and you can see how it lines up. Easy stuff. Now we'll just make another one just like that. Go in the other direction. I measured the other diagonal brace distance, and it's the same as the other that I just made. So I'm going to use that as a template and cut that one. Notice I flipped the template upside down because it's just the reverse going the other way. So just mark it and cut it. Got everything lined up, sitting there temporarily, and now what we're going to do is score the lines in the middle. And now we're going to take a 1/2 inch off each board like we did on the corners so they lock together. And cut our 1/2 inch groove. Then we just take the hammer and knock it out. There you go. One done. One more to go. Quick trick to share with you. After you cut the first one, which you can see I've done, flip them upside down and reverse them. So this one here was flipped the other way upside down and went across there, the painted side up, and vice versa. And that way when you do that, you can get a good mark on this. So I'll score a pencil line on there and I'll get an exact cut. Now we're all lined up, locked in, and it's just a matter of gluing and screwing things together. I just take some wood glue Oops. Put on there. I don't glue this piece. I didn't on the other one. Get everything lined up. And I drill pilot holes because these are older boards and they tend to split with the screws I'm using. 1 inch and 1 inch, so I'll use 2-inch screws. I just put one in to start so that I get them all squared up if I have to move something. That's it, that one's locked in. I'll do the other corner, and then I've got to glue this in here, so I'll set that in and do those 2 corners. Then in the middle, I just use my 2-inch screw and break them off on the back side because I don't have coated deck screws for treated boards that are 1 inch. Now I'm just going to screw down the corners so they're nice and snug. Now I'm going to fill in, this is the back side, because I'm going to nail the fencing to the back. I'm going to fill this in, so just 4 boards and screw them in, and that'll also give it some strength. So I set a board up here and it's 22.5 degrees, so I'll go set my miter saw and cut them and screw them in. Now they're cut, just set them in. And screw them down. Next I'm going to cut the wire that'll go on the back of the gate to keep the animals in and predators out. You can use hog wire for this, woven wire. This is high tensile knot wire. There's all kinds of wire you could use for that. If you're going to use fixed knot wire or woven wire, I cut it about 1 inch longer. This is a fixed knot high tensile wire, and then I just bend them over. Here's what the ends look like. Now I'm putting the wire on the back. I've got it all painted, and at the bottom I just bend mine over a little bit. Of course, if you're using hog wire, I just feel it gives it a little more strength. So I'll staple it to the bottom and then field staple it. Have the wire centered best I could. And I'm just going to staple it down. There's two options. You can use a fence staple, or I've got a gun and I'm going to shoot 1-inch staples, and that'll secure it real well with a gun that I bought. This gun at Harbor Freight on sale it shoots nails and staples. I think it was on sale for $15, and you can buy a box of these staples for 11 bucks. And I'd get galvanized if you're doing an outside gate. I just pull and staple as I go along with this to make it tight. Quick and easy. Here's the finished product. Nice and tight. So I'm ready to go. Ready to hang it. I've had these gates up for almost a year now, and they haven't sagged even 1/8 of an inch. They're strong as can be. If you wanted them solid, you could just put vertical boards in, fill it in, it'd be even stronger. Let me show you how strong they are. I weigh a little over 200 pounds, and they don't budge an inch even if I stand on them. It's still a perfect fit. And that's how you build a gate that will not sag. If you'd like to learn how I hung these gates and the hinges I used, click on the link attached. If this video was a help to you, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And I look forward to helping you with other projects online.